You're welcome to today's episode of Chronicles of a Nigerian Woman. My name is Fagbeja, and today I'll be reading Fehintola's story as told by her sister. Fehintola is my sister. I am sharing this on her behalf. Everyone is confounded by her behavior, and no one is sure how to help her. Fehintola and Wale met about 15 years ago, just before they got into university. She was 17 and he was 18 at the time, and they attended the same JAMB classes. They became extremely close, and before long, they were dating. By some stroke of coincidence, they got into the same university, and they continued their relationship all through school. They got married about 6 years ago and have 2 lovely boys. Wale has a great job in a bank, and Fehintola started a business selling women's fashion items. She has always been fashionable, and having her own business would allow her be there for the boys. She had a shop, and her business was doing great. Wale and Fehintola had such a blissful relationship, to the admiration of everyone who knew them. Until last year. Fehintola has never spoken about the incident I'm about to share, and she has refused to answer any questions about it. So all I have is Wale's account of things. According to him, he confessed to her that he had an affair with one of his old classmates from university. It was the only time he had ever cheated on her throughout the 15 years of their relationship, and it was a one-off incident. The lady came to his branch of the bank, and they ran into each other and decided to meet up after work to catch up. One thing led to another, and they ended up in bed. He regretted it immediately and cut off all ties with her, and he couldn't live with the guilt, so 2 weeks later, he confessed to Fehintola. That was the genesis of Fehintola's breakdown. It was evening when he told her, and he knew she would be very hurt, so he wasn't surprised when she cried all night. He tried to console her, but she wanted to be on her own. He kept checking on her through the night, and he knew she didn't sleep at all. The next day, the nanny got the children dressed and the school bus picked them up as usual. When Wale got back, Fehintola had not gotten out of bed all day. The nanny said she hadn't eaten or even come out when the children got home. This continued over the next 2 weeks. She barely ate any food. She stopped going to her shop, and she mostly stayed in bed and didn't talk to anybody, not even to Wale. He begged her and tried to console her, but all she would do was cry. It was during this time that he called my mom and told her what was going on. Our dad had died when we were much younger. I am the last born of 4, but we are 2 girls, and so, despite the 6-year age gap between us, we were very close. Both Wale's parents and my mom tried to intervene, and she seemed to pick up for a while, but she became a shadow of herself. After about a month of not opening her shop, she started going again, but she was not consistent. Eventually, she closed the shop after 6 months when the rent expired. She lost her bubbly, extroverted personality and spent most of her time sitting at home in pajamas. She, who had always paid a lot of attention to her hair, her nails, and her personal grooming, stopped doing so altogether. She always complained about being tired and feeling ill, so the hospital visits began. But the doctors never found anything wrong with her. At some point, Wale thought a vacation would help, but she didn't want to go alone, so they took a 2-week holiday to Dubai. I went with them as well to help look after the kids. Fehintola never had any close friends apart from Wale. Throughout the time she was in Dubai, she barely wanted to do anything. so we mostly stayed indoors. And when we went shopping, she did not buy a single thing for herself. She said she didn't want or need anything. When we returned, I stayed with them for about 6 weeks, but I am ashamed to say that I got worn out after some time. The ambience of their home was too sad and depressing, and it was beginning to affect me too, so I left. We have all tried everything we know, but nothing is helping. One of the doctors they saw diagnosed depression, and when Wale told her about the incident, it confirmed her diagnosis. The doctor suggested that they see a therapist, but Fehintola insists that she is not depressed and has gotten over the incident. She barely eats anything and has lost so much weight. It's been over a year since the incident and no one knows what to do anymore. Fehintola seems lost and we are afraid that we might completely lose her. What are your thoughts about Fahintola's situation? Please share in the comments below. Remember to subscribe to my channel if you like this story and to turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos.